Straight ahead on 12 News, understanding autism.
I've been there. I get it. I've lived it.
Meet a Twin Cities mom who's helping other parents in her shoes. Plus, a group of moms who take comfort in each other while trying to comfort loved ones overseas. But first,
there's ice on the lake and fishermen too. Why the DNR says it's not safe to be out on the lake.
12 News starts right now. The DNR says going out on the lake can be downright dangerous this time of year.
On Tuesday, a Burnsville man drowned after falling through thin ice on a pond. And as reporter Sonia Goen shows us, there are still people willing to take the chance by venturing out on the ice.
I can see the lake from our house, and it's just bewildering that people are still out.
Jessica Solinsky lives right off of East Madison Lake.
It's a lot of fun.
This time of year, she and her dog Lacey prefer to walk around the lake instead of on it.
There were people out when it was 50 degrees out, and that just, I mean, it's okay, it's not a deep lake, but I'm sure the ice is thinned up. It's not going to be that stable anymore.
But we found a couple of ice fishermen who were willing to take a chance.
Can't believe you're doing that, but whatever.
Thin ice and all.
I think he's insane. I mean, I think there's a bit of insanity to go out on ice anyway.
Either those guys are bold or really like fish. There are plenty of spots of pooling water on Medicine Lake.
And the fact that there are puddles out there, it sounds like a quick way to a watery death.
DNR officials agree. Venturing out on the ice right now is not a good idea.
There might be a couple inches of ice out on a lake right now. It's just not strong enough.
Normally, 4 inches of clear, newly formed ice can hold a person, but that doesn't hold water this time of year. You can see and hear winter melting all around us.
Tread lightly.
Ice on the lakes are disappearing as well.
Right now, I can tell you that the Mississippi River is open and that the ice conditions on metro lakes are deteriorating rapidly.
Where are you going? I know, you want to go run on the lake. No.
Jessica says she really hopes people heed the warnings. She knows firsthand what can happen on thin ice.
Actually, my father drowned when I was about 12 out in Colorado, and the ice was open, but it was April. It was up in the mountains.
The DNR hopes people listen up too.
Go get your boat ready for the summer or something like that. Just stay off the ice. Save your ice fishing till next winter.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
The snow is also a problem for iced-over lakes. The DNR says the extra weight of snow pushes down on ice and creates cracks. And they also say ice near the shore is weaker than ice farther out.
A civil lawsuit has been filed against Courage Kenny Rehabilitation Institute in Golden Valley, accusing it of failing to protect a vulnerable adult from a convicted sex offender. Corey Gordon is accused of posing as a personal care attendant to prey on a woman with a rare brain disease. He's scheduled to stand trial on criminal charges next month. According to the civil suit, the woman's mother repeatedly warned Courage Kenny staff that Gordon was targeting her daughter for sex. The suit says those warnings were ignored and says Courage Kenny even allowed Gordon to participate in therapy sessions with the alleged victim.
A luxury car dealership in Golden Valley has big expansion plans. Tuesday night, the Golden Valley City Council approved the expansion of the Porsche dealership along Interstate 394. The current building is about 13,000 square feet. The expansion would more than double the size, offering more showroom, service, and office space. The dealership's general manager says they also plan to add about 10 more employees from their current staff of 18.
The jobs should be well-paying jobs. We have a couple other car dealerships along 394 that also are looking at either expanding or modifying or improving, and some high-end luxury cars there as well. So it's kind of becoming this destination for luxury automobiles, and we certainly welcome it.
Golden Valley city planners say they expect construction to begin this spring and finish up by this fall. April is Autism Awareness Month, and there is more startling news for the autism community.
The CDC now says 1 in 68 children is or will be diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. That's up 29% since 2012. A local store owner cringes when she sees those statistics. As Cassie Bonstrom reports, she's committed to helping these families until a cure is found.
A lot of our kids have just an incredible visual ability. They see things differently, and they are often very calmed and fascinated by things that create patterns and that allow movement.
Sherry Saltzman is more than just a store owner. She's also a mom on a mission.
I knew what it was like. I knew what parents were going through. I knew what was needed. I knew what educators were looking for.
After raising a child with autism, she and her husband opened the Autism Shop. They offer toys, tools, and resources to help other struggling families.
So many of the kids will chew on their clothing or their fingers or their wrist or anything that they can find. These are more socially acceptable ones, and this entire department is all filled with fidgets. This is one of my favorites.
The items for sale cater to many common behaviors of kids with autism.
This came out last fall. It is just the most incredible substance. It's not messy, it never dries out.
One of the shop's biggest sellers are the weighted blankets. This happens to be the biggest one. It weighs about 12 to 14 pounds. It's filled with tiny little stones.
To help them feel more secure. And the same with sleeping through the night or calming down after they've had a bit of a meltdown.
Saltzman says her shop is one of only 2 walk-in stores in the entire country. Though she still does a majority of her sales online, her goal is to offer local parents a safe physical space where they can come in and ask questions free of judgment.
I've been there. I get it. I've lived it.
When she first opened the shop, Sherry assumed a cure for autism was not far behind.
Hasn't happened.
And with rates continuing to rise, she says she and her store will be here for as long as they're needed.
We really want to hold out, that hand to help others to improve their lives and their children's lives.
In Minnetonka, I'm Cassie Bonstrom, 12 News.
The Autism Shop is open Tuesday through Saturday. To learn more about the shop and what they offer, we'll have a link on our website at 12.tv.
A Champlin Park teacher is one of 10 finalists for Minnesota Teacher of the Year. Terry Evans works as the library media specialist at Champlin Park High School. She's one of 10 finalists for the honor. The winner will be announced next month. Well, coming up, saving money on getting rid of stuff. We'll sort through the best options for spring cleaning.
And then a little bit later in sports, a preview of the Champlin Park baseball team that includes a new coach and plenty of talent.
But first, wet, slushy snow arriving on Thursday, even more on Friday.
Spring is the time when many of us decide to clean out what we don't need.
Well, sometimes you can even make some money when you spring clean by selling what you don't want, but if you just want to get rid of it, reporter Shannon Slatton has a few tips in today's Money Savers.
Spring is here, a time to get rid of the old and make way for something new. Today in Money Savers, we've compiled a list of places where you can get rid of your unwanted items for less.
This is the time of year I think we're all just wanting to get out from all the stuff we've accumulated over the long winter.
On her website, the Twin Cities frugal mom Lisa Baker helps us navigate through where you can get rid of unwanted stuff. Yard waste sites differ in what they accept after April 1st. Serious Mulch in Brooklyn Park and the Maple Grove Yard Waste site both accept different types of debris. Electronics are accepted at Hennepin County drop-off facilities, and old cell phones can also be recycled at wireless provider locations.
There are a ton of free shredding events in the Twin Cities area, including here in the Northwest Metro.
Free shredding events start now and go through the summer at credit unions, stores, and local businesses. For clothes and toys, look to donate at local nonprofit thrift stores.
Arcs Value Village in New Hope here, they have a deal where if you donate 1 box or more of clothing, household items, whatever, then you can get a 30% off discount for your next shopping trip.
However, consider donating formal dresses to a place like Operation Glass Slipper or Diamonds and Pearls. And you can drop off old medicine with Hennepin County, or Walgreens has a mail-in disposal program. Due to liability concerns, one of the toughest things to recycle is an old car seat. It's not accepted at recycling centers, but the Minnesota Recycling Association has drop-off locations where you can recycle it for about $10. Otherwise, you can just throw it in the trash. For more information on this tip, as well as others we've mentioned, check out our website, 12.tv/moneysavers.
All right, coming up, a group of moms on a special military mission.
But first in sports, why the Park Center softball team is hopeful they can bounce back from a tough season last year. John Jacobson is in next.
Well, the kind of forecast we have this week sure feels good to at least be able to talk about baseball and spring and, everything.
Dream.
Right.
That's what it seems like. Coming off a 15-win season and a second-place finish in the Northwest Suburban Conference, there is optimism surrounding the Champlin Park baseball team this spring as the Rebels wait to hear the words, "Play ball."
When your field is actually a field house, there's only so much real baseball you can simulate. But stuck indoors like everyone else, the Champlin Park baseball team does see progress in the first 2+ weeks of practice.
There's good things being inside. You get to work on fundamental stuff a little bit more, and that's what we've been doing. So there's some good things and some bad things, but we're getting stuff done, so it's working well.
Best assessment is, you know, that work ethic on the inside. You can't really see a whole lot. You can't see the fly balls or anything like that. But from what we've seen in the cages and what we've seen from a hustle standpoint, we're really pleased about what we've got to work with. No question about it.
Champlin Park grad and former sophomore baseball coach Corey Davis takes over as Rebels head coach. He's worked with all of the team's upperclassmen, and that helps.
Most of these guys have had Coach Davis and Loberg for our sophomore seasons, and we also had the same coaches for Legion last year, so we're familiar with them, and it's definitely going good so far.
The Rebels return a half-dozen regulars from a year ago and have solid pitching at the top of the rotation, with seniors Brandon Rushmeyer and Trevor Kaminsky as two of the better pitchers in the conference. This team has high expectations, and their past success helps.
It helps a lot, you know. We get into the big game situations and we're able to be comfortable in those situations, and we're able to pass it on to the guys who maybe haven't been in those situations or seem to be nervous in those situations. So we're able to help out a lot.
Our expectations are to win. We're going to do our best to do what we can to win and do whatever we can.
For now, the Rebels will do their best to sharpen their skills in here, knowing eventually the season will start.
The kids are growing antsy as well as the coaches, but at least we know one thing certain: the sun is gonna shine, and we're gonna get a chance to play baseball here real soon.
Define real soon. The Rebels schedule still has 2 varsity games on for next week. A more likely opening day for the team would be Monday, April 14th at Elk River. After a great run of success, Park Center's softball team had a lot of young players in the lineup last spring. The Pirates dropped toward the bottom of the Northwest Suburban Conference, but they hope to bounce back this spring. The Pirates returned most of their lineup from 2013 when they were 2-8 in the Northwest Suburban and tied for 9th place. That's after replacing a group that won 2 state Class 2A titles in 2010 and 2011. The experience gained last season has everyone feeling more confident this year.
With 1 year under my belt, I think it'll be a lot easier this year than last year, because last year was my first year.
I think we're improving little by little. There's just a few things that we need to clean up around the edges, but otherwise that we're improving, yeah.
The Pirates have a pretty good mix of seniors and juniors, along with a sophomore and 2 freshmen. Players like MJ Jellison, Jill Rosby, Morgan Sherva, and Lexi Peterson are good leaders. They expect to win their share of games this season.
Definitely have a better record than last year, and I think it's definitely possible. All of our girls, most of our girls are returning, and so, I don't know, and I think just as a group, I think we're gonna have a lot better chemistry this year.
I'd say we want to do better than last year for sure and win more games than losing for sure, because I think that's what we're capable of, so.
The Pirates were scheduled to open the season next Wednesday at Osseo, but that game's been postponed. They're now hoping to play Thursday, April 10th at home against Maple Grove. Don't know, but we'll see. And you have to keep planning for those games as if they're going to be playing at this point.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John.
Thank you, John. Well, Easter is a little more than 2 weeks away.
That's right, but for soldiers serving overseas, that holiday could be an afterthought, but for a group of mothers who are all about offering support.
We'll send this one to Afghanistan.
These military moms are on deadline. Packing up an Easter meal shipped to soldiers is their top priority.
We need about 2 weeks to get them there in time, and we're sending both to Afghanistan and to Japan.
Lucy Cutt's son is stationed in Japan.
He gets home in July. So, yes, we're very excited. We're be glad to have him back.
She has a little company here and something in common with this Blue Star Mothers group.
My son has done 5 deployments, and your son has done?
He's done 2.
2, and we're kind of like the moms that have been around the block.
That means something, to know what it feels like to wait for a loved one, yet not even know where they are.
One is someplace on a ship. I don't know where.
Cheryl Hines of Robbinsdale has 12 deployments between her 2 Marines.
I get things on a need-to-know basis. Apparently, I don't need to know.
She can laugh because she has the support of this group of moms who know what it's like.
You're wasting tape.
And together, they support each other while supporting the troops.
That's the biggest thing, is they realize they're not forgotten.
The Blue Star Mothers Group sends out packages to soldiers year-round, but their big push is at Christmas and Easter. Still ahead, classical musicians let loose at Cooper High School.
We'll check out some orchestra rock coming up next.
And finally, take orchestra students at a professional band and you end up with a rock concert.
Cooper and Armstrong students have joined forces with professional jazz violinist Randy Sabine and his band. For the student classical musicians, it's a chance to explore different genres, including old Western swing tunes, blues, and jazz. It's also an opportunity to play improvised solos for the first time.
It's great to be able to have student soloists, and we've been talking about improvisation, so giving students kind of opening their eyes to the realm of music that they can perform on their instruments.
My life's work is to get students playing these bowed instruments to go from this to this. Or maybe this.
Oh, I like that. The Orchestra Rock Concert takes place Thursday night at 7:30 at the Cooper High School Auditorium. Tickets are $10 for adults, $5 for students. Proceeds benefit the Seven Dreams Foundation's Instruments for Kids program.
He makes you want to learn how to
That
do
is
that.
so cool. Yeah.
That's very cool.
That's it for now. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
And we leave you with another taste of orchestra rock. Enjoy.